Good morning, everyone. Today is a big day. We're going to be taking out cutting down some trees today. I say we. A tree service will be taking out some trees today. Let me show you what we're going to be doing. So this tree right here in the middle, that one's coming down because it is dying, number one. And number two, I want my rose garden in this area. So I'd like to get it out of there and get my rose garden planted. And that has been a plan for some time for a rose garden there, but I didn't want to plant roses and get it the way I wanted it and then have the tree damage it when it came down. Because whether or not a tree falls on its own or you're having it cut, when it's this large, they really can't control where it's gonna fall. Another tree we're taking down is the one in the center driveway, the large one, not the little cedar. I'm actually gonna try to replant that little cedar somewhere else. So you'll see that in an upcoming video. But the tree in the center is kind of pulling up the asphalt, just like this one is. I don't know if you could see that, but it's kind of pulling up the asphalt. It has some damage down at the bottom, and eventually is it an arborist? The tree guy, we'll call him the tree guy, said eventually it would have to come down if we ever repaved our driveway, which we are planning on, or it would just probably die naturally in 2 to 5 years. So I would rather get the tree out of there and not have to worry about damaging any plants. But it's a little scary to see when you have two trees in close proximity being taken away, even though this one is pretty much dead. It's a little scary to see how that'll look. Like, will my yard look bald? But they do need to come down. So I'm a little excited, a little nervous, and let's go take a look at the others. Earlier this year, we took out 2 trees from this area. And the reason we did that was the fountain. And I just didn't like the trees. They didn't match. But now the difficult part is digging the holes for the boxwoods. So I need to get a tiller in here because the roots are so thick in this portion of the ground that it makes it difficult to dig. And I've tried it and it's just like hitting granite. So anyhow, that's it. That will be in another video. There's the rest of the boxwoods that are gonna go around this area. So you'll remember my old blue spruce that was eaten alive by spider mites. That will be replaced, but because we knew we had these other 3 trees coming down, we didn't want to replace it and then it get damaged. Because although he can try to miss certain things, it's really, you know, when you're dealing with trees this tall, you never know where the branches are going to land and how it's going to fall. So these 3 trees right here, this one by the lamppost, that one is coming down. This one right here by my large azalea bush, that one is coming down. That one's not quite dead, but I don't like the shape of it, and it's leaning, and it's just not, I don't think it's flattering this landscape. And then the one behind it, covered in ivy, is coming down. That one's completely dead. So these trees all really need to go, but it is a little bit scary. This is going to change this area and what I can plant here. So it's gone from a shady area to now to be a fairly sunny area. We're keeping the pine tree. We're keeping this, I'm not sure what that is. I think it's a maple. And then we have lots of little dogwoods. And we have lots of large trees that will be left, but it's still scary. I like to take trees down one at a time, but that would be a lot more expensive because then they'd have to get their equipment out here 5 different times. All right, guys, so I will show you what it looks like after they come down, and hopefully they'll allow me to take some video as they're coming down, because I think it's a really interesting process. There's a lot going on today at the Surratt house. Those 3 trees are coming out, and I'm already thinking it looks so bare in that area, but they were either dead or dying, so it was time. I'm gonna plant a few different trees to replace those. Of course, they probably won't get to the size in my lifetime, but that's okay. All right, so that's what's going on this side, and let me take you to the other side. This tree would be coming out right here, and now that everything's getting cut, I haven't decided on this one. Originally, I was gonna take that one out. Now I'm just like, ugh, the Texas girl in me hates to see a tree go. So down here, they're getting all the vines, and this is our property line down on the other side of that gravel road. And so my husband just went and asked the neighbors if we could clean this up, because with property lines, you always want to be sure that number one, it's your property and you're not just assuming it is, and it's just common courtesy. You know, they may not want to look at our house, but she said we could clean it all up. I'm going to replace it with some privacy trees, and then keep the evergreens. But this is a really nice pin oak that's going to stay, but there was vines growing in it, and they've ripped out the vines. The vines here in North Carolina can become so aggressive that they kill trees. So they're trying to pull out the whole entire root system of that vine. So that's what's going on in this world today. I'm full of anxiety. Chris, easy, Chris. I'm full of anxiety, and anyhow. Just scares me. How is it gonna look? Chris scares me on this four-wheeler a lot, actually. You always worry about your kids, but worry about them more when they're what a difference. So, and this, oh, I wish I would have had that, but timber. Looks like they're at a standstill over there trying to figure out how they're gonna thaw those trees. All right, I'll see you guys in a minute. So the big tree that was in the corner by the driveway is gone. I decided to keep this one for now because that one won't be too difficult to take down if we decide to. And I don't want it to look barren. You know, I love trees, but I like that we can see this pine tree before we couldn't even see it. And the tree that was cut from this area was pretty much dead. So I'm glad to have it gone. Over here, and we're still cleaning up, as you can hear, over here it is a little bit more shocking. I'm gonna go out to the street and look, but it's a little bit more shocking. But all 3 of those trees just were dying, so it was time for them to go. It does look a little bit bare, but that's okay. That's okay. That gives me more to plant, I guess. And I'm gonna go take a look at it from the front. So we're left with the remnants of the trees, and Christopher and Tom and Aiden are helping get the place cleaned back up. But It does feel a little bare, but that's okay. That's okay. It gives me the opportunity to put some more plants in and some more trees and to kind of design this area how I want to. All right, guys, have a great day and thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.